to continue to have a relationship.
You don't need father.
No.
That's right.
No, that's true.
That's right. You don't. You need yourself. And we try to tell people that, right? You know, we try to tell people, this is father. This is you need to do this yourself. You need to find your relationship and understand it's real. You know, I mean, that was the Sunday thing was Jesus is alive and well. People don't believe it, okay, because they're too busy and they're disconnected, and there is more than, for whatever reason. I don't have the answers to all the reasons or anything else. I don't even want to play or go there necessarily, but I know that I only exist because of Christ and my struggles. And apparently, as I sit here, and obviously you're here, and you have that same inner spirit.
Which is, it's a wonderful thing, and it's been hugely comforting for me.
The spirit that survives this poem.
Yes. Yes.
The spirit that survives that you're not one of these statistics. It's scary.
It's very scary.
You know, one of the scariest things is to wake up when you're in prison and you're with a group of people and they're all around you. You're alone, number one, with them. But when you wake up and one of them's gone because they hung themselves the night before, or you step over their body in the line going to because of a stupid fight or somebody didn't like this person for whatever reason. I mean, imagine being a transgender in a prison. I would have been stepping over your body, okay? And what a tragedy, because if I had known you and you were in the cell beside me, that I would have probably ended up knowing a person who was a wonderful person, and then some clown, because of who you are, they're gonna hurt you. And so in that community, I was in a community where a lot of deaths happened. Most violent prison in the country. We had more deaths than anybody else. I mean, like once a week, somebody you knew, somebody hanged themselves, somebody got killed, somebody. So when you live in that environment, it affects you. I know, Stacy. We talk about the suicide rate, you know, and a lot of this could be relieved by education,
Right.
serious access to medical,
Yes.
some way that is open, friendly, that people could access mental health, real help, medical people. That's a big job.
It is. It is.
That you are gonna, yeah, with the group, yeah, going to attack.
Yep.
Hmm? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
We are certainly all about educating and trying to, you know, there's at this point there's only so much we can do, but certainly educating the public and educating ourselves and our fellow members of this community is a lot of what we need to do, and certainly trying to connect people with medical resources where we can.
Takes a lot of research, okay, to find out who's available where, if there is it. Takes getting out there.
It does.
That's I mean, you're out, you know, you're going to be poster girls.
Right.
Okay, you're gonna have to bear your soul. I don't mean to do this on the show, but to you, but I do. Okay, you
Well,
know,
it's necessary. I mean, it's a risk putting ourselves out there. I
It
mean, we
certainly
talked
is.
about the dangers,
Yeah,
but
that's right.
if it reaches someone who's hurting, then I'll take the risk. It's worth it.
See, Father knows what a risk you're going through. You're aware where the prison movement was in the 60s, and then when the 70s, when we wanted to change stuff and nobody was listening, took people to get out there. I was fortunate with a group much like yours, with a group of about 8 that we had started in the prisons and said, we need to change things. People are getting hurt and nobody's going to change. And they got out there. And they got out there and they put themselves out, and I put myself out as, you know, this is a good thing to do. And this is a good thing because you all 3 are doing a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
You seriously are. You are doing a wonderful thing. And if you help one individual, if you save one person from committing suicide or support.
Yeah, we're not afraid I hope I speak for all of us. We're not afraid of painting large targets on our backs in hopes of minimizing the targets on our brothers and sisters. But
I'm fine with it.
yeah.
You got more statistics for us? Where do we have other things? Where do you see this going?
With the suicide rate, it takes a lot of, well, one, doing a show here and doing a flyer, doing the website, all that is going to help reach out to people and so that they can get information and support. So maybe we can see a difference here in the suicide percentages of transgender people. It's heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
I myself had an attempt actually at age 20, but fortunately I survived it, and here I am.
Yeah, you struggle with job stuff too, right? I mean, that's the job. I mean, how, you know, I look at that. What do you do? Well, you also struggled. You're right on the top here. I mean, you and I met when you were homeless.
Yeah.
I mean, the situation put you homeless. Yeah.
Right. I couldn't do my trade anymore.
Right.
I mean, I couldn't do construction.
Right.
And 2,000 guys on a job site. They'd throw me down an elevator shaft and say, "See ya." And finding work with construction and automotive background, and trying to switch careers and also being transgender at the same time is extremely difficult. Requires actually, going back to school, but then how do you afford schooling and find a job
and
too?
find a job and do all the other stuff, and right, and then on the job you gotta hide. I mean, that's
Right.
that. Okay.
Due to the medical not being able to cover, or not covering at all, most of the things needed during transition, hormones and surgery, and it takes a lot longer to go through the transition.
Yeah. Some of this stuff is very, very scary. Yeah, okay, the more I learn and the more, the risk factor that all of you face, even individuals that are difficult to know that they're transgender, when dealing with males, especially female, dealing with a male that doesn't know. I watched the show that was very disturbing to me, okay, because I happen to know, as a young man, what my reaction would have been to find out that the person I was kissing or dancing with was another guy, and I wasn't told. Well, you can imagine, obviously, with my background, who they say I was and what I did and everything else like that, to have that impact, okay, right? I watched a show, and that's basically what the lady was doing. She had not completed her transgender thing, but an average person wouldn't tell. It's a very, very beautiful individual, and out there, and not telling, and dealing with some men. And I watched, and I said, "Oh my God, right."
That's very dangerous.
They were very, very, very scary. I know personally that if it was me and I found out in a shock, I would probably be on death row.
It's not worth the risk.
No.
That's how murder happens.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and all for the wrong reasons. No, you shouldn't do whatever. My reaction in my younger days that person would have,
It happens a
at
lot.
the very least, what would have happened to them, that they would have been in the hospital